We often get asked how much it would cost to hire an attorney. Attorneys are paid on contingency fee, which means that we don't get paid until you get paid. A contingency fee is a percentage fee based on what the attorney gets for you. So for example, if you have a 1/3 contingency fee and there's a $100,000 recovery, then 1/3 goes to the attorney and 2/3 goes to the client. Most attorneys who handle personal injury claims do not take a fee on the property damage side of the case. Property damage is the amount of money that you recover with respect to the vehicle and the repairs to the vehicle. If the car's totaled, for example, then the insurance company will cut you a check for the vehicle, and the typical fees in Atlanta are what's called an escalator clause. For personal injury attorneys, typically what is charged is 1/3 pre-suit and 40% after the lawsuit has been filed. Generally speaking, a personal injury lawsuit is broken up into two halves. Pre-suit is everything that happens before a lawsuit's filed. That means that from the time that you get into an accident until the time that the lawyer actually files a lawsuit in court, that whole potentially 2-year process is pre-suit. And the pre-suit period is usually when you're getting things like medical care, there's an investigation that's going on, the open records request happens, the attorneys are going out and finding any video of the accident, there are multiple letters that have to go out to the insurance company and to anyone who was involved in the wreck or the accident in order to put them on notice to keep the evidence. Those are called spoliation letters. The pre-suit period is everything that leads up to the actual filing of the lawsuit. And that's what we refer to when you say somebody's been served. They've been served with process, which is the summons and the complaint. That's what kicks off the actual legal action and leads to things like discovery. It leads all the way up to trial when you may be in front of a jury, in front of 12 strangers who will ultimately decide how much money you're going to get. So you could say that there are two different phases to a lawsuit, pre-suit and post-suit. And at the time that post-suit happens, there's a bunch of additional work that has to get done, and so the attorney's fee goes up in terms of percentage. But an important thing for people to remember is that no fees are charged unless we get a result for you. It's just like you see on the billboards. There's absolutely no charge for anything we do unless we get you a result. So fees and expenses do not kick in until we actually recover money for you. Expenses on a file are important to be aware of. There are things like the cost of getting medical records, hiring experts, hiring people to do reconstructions of a wreck, finding ways to make your case more understandable to a jury who's going to ultimately decide how much money to give you. And so the expenses can be a critical part of the claim, but it's also very important to have an attorney who talks with you ahead of time about the expenses that you're going to incur. You have a right to know what your case is going to cost. And those costs should only come out of what the attorney gets for you. So there should be an understanding all the way, holding hands with the lawyer the whole way through your case to understand exactly what it's going to cost to bring the case and what you can hope to get out of it. One of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis is how big does an injury have to be in order for an attorney to get involved? And the truth is that in everyday life we have bumps and bruises. We have little accidents and things that really don't warrant an attorney being involved. But when you talk about a serious auto wreck or a life-changing work accident, an attorney is absolutely critical. So how do we tell the difference between the two? One of the first questions you're going to ask yourself is, what are my medical bills? Did I have to go to the hospital? Did I take an ambulance? Is there a lot of damage to my vehicle? After the wreck, a week later, am I still hurting or do I feel better? These are all important questions to talk about your medical special damages. And that's just a fancy way of saying your medical bills. Your medical special damages help to dictate to a jury what they should give you to cover you for the medical bills that you've incurred. Another topic is lost wages. Exactly how long you had to be out of work because of your injury. Exactly how long you're likely to be out of work in the future. And what diminished earning capacity you might have as a result of permanent injuries that were not your fault. They were the result of the negligence of another actor. So there are a lot of different factors that go into the calculation of damages. And the more your damages are, the more likely you are to have an attorney and need one. It costs you absolutely nothing to consult with an attorney. We are happy to talk to you about your concerns, about your legal rights, in order to determine if we want to work together. And if we do end up working together, then there's absolutely no fee unless we win for you. We have to get you a settlement or get you an award in order for you to owe $1. And so we want to be there for you, your friends, your family. We want to be your lawyers for life. When somebody comes to me, sometimes they're thinking to themselves, I don't really want a lawyer. I don't want the trouble that's involved. If I get a lawyer, then the insurance company is going to be suspicious of me. The other driver's going to be upset. And there's a possibility of heading towards a lawsuit. Now, the reality is that the insurance company is going to be suspicious of you no matter what. That's their job. They're always suspicious. Pretty much the only job of an insurance adjuster is to make sure that you get less money. They're there to minimize the claim. Some of the sneaky tricks that they use in order to do that, we used to teach them. I mean, most of the attorneys at my law firm used to be defense lawyers. And so we know all the dirty tricks because we used to tell the insurance companies how to do it. And so they get in there from the very beginning, and they're trying to take recorded statements, and they're trying to find ways to undermine the claim. And so you don't have to worry about whether or not having an attorney is going to make things less friendly. The insurance company is from the very beginning going to make things less friendly. Having a lawyer is having somebody there to talk for you who's been through this 1,000 times and knows what to say. It makes things less acrimonious. It makes the insurance company less likely to give you a hassle, because they know that if they hassle you in the wrong way when you've got a lawyer, it's going to cost them a lot of money. In fact, some of the best results we get, the absolute best results, are when the insurance company does hassle us. And frankly, we love it. We love it when the insurance company hassles us, because when they do the wrong thing, when they engage in bad faith, that's when we can really get somebody a lot of money. Rather than being the victim of an insurance company hassling you because you were trying to be nice, hire a lawyer, make the process easier for you, smoother, and then you don't have to worry about all that. You don't have to worry about the insurance company engaging in bad faith. If they do, we're going to make them pay for it. I'm Tristan Morrison with Morrison Hughes. Call us today for an absolutely free legal consult. It costs nothing to consult a lawyer, and it could be the most valuable call you've ever made. Call 404-LAW-TEAM. At Morrison Hughes, we don't back down.